Right, so we'll just get started there now. So today we're going to work on the specifications tool. This tool is great for storing all your specs in one place. It's great for storing important documents as well. And you need fire safety certificates, disability access certificates, schedules. It's very good for storing all these in the one place. It's very good because you can manage revisions as well. So it's not just that you're putting up one document and then deleting it or anything. You can just upload revisions on top of revisions on top of revisions. One thing to note is that the files must be in PDF format when you're uploading to this tool. But I'm just going to give you an example here of a site that's using the Spec tool very well, which is Donnybrook. So you can see here, these titles here that are in black, LSG documentation, mechanical, these are called the Spec divisions. These are like your broader terms that you use. So you have your electrical, your mechanical, architectural and stuff like that. And underneath that, then you have your spec section. So you have your spec divisions, which are these ones here in black, and then your spec sections are these ones down here. Now, the way I usually do it is I create my spec divisions and my spec sections before I actually upload the spec book itself. It makes things a lot easier to do it that way. So just so you know, to open them up, all you have to do is just press open. I right click and press open. So you just open it and it just appears like so. And then you can scroll through it. You've got your info over here on the side. You can download it here as well, which is very, very useful. Another thing you can do as well is you can click the info button. So if you click the info button, you can see more general things about that specific spec. So you can see the number again, the revision. Down here you can see an older revision as well. So if there's older revisions, you can see them there. If you ever click on an older revision, I should say, and you open it up, just give me 1 second there now, open in viewer. Up at the very top, it will always give you a warning to tell you that you're not in the most current revision. And you can navigate between them by just clicking up here again. So there you go, back to Rev 4 for this one. Perfect. Yeah, so this is the general parts. So again, you can see stuff like download log as well. So you can see who's been downloading it and when. You can also email the spec to somebody. So if you want to email it to somebody, you just click new email and you send it to somebody. That person has to be in the directory. They don't have to have access to the spec tool itself, but they do have to be in the directory. And what they can see on their end, if you email the spec to somebody, an email comes in like this, and they have two options. They can either download it as a PDF, or they click on the spec and it'll open it up for them like this. So this is what they're seeing on their end. Very, very useful tool as well. So I'll just go back here now to Donnybrook. Over here, you have your upload specifications button on the right-hand side. So that's how you upload your spec. But the first thing, like I said, you would do is you create your division and your spec section before you actually upload. So we're just going to upload one now. So I'll just go in here to Sandbox. And I'm going to click Upload Specification. So this is the one that I'm going to upload. It's just one here for Bandon Road. There's a document title and there's a document number as well. So we're just going to use this document number and document title. Just before we press the upload button, we're going to create the divisions. So you press create division. And what we're going to do then is we're just going to use the title that was on that PDF. So we're going to give it a title. Sorry. Before I do that, sorry, I'm just going to create a discipline first, which is going to be your architectural. So you just create architectural first, sorry. So you follow the number and order in here. So this is my spec division I'm creating here. So the last one was 03 disability access certificate. This is going to be my next one. So I'm going to call it 04 architectural. I'm going to press add. And then from that, I'm going to create my spec section. So I press spec section. I'm going to put it under architectural. And I have two options here. I can either number this 4.1, or if the actual spec itself has its own document number, you would put that in. So in this example, I'm going to put in this document number. And that goes in there. And for the description, I'm going to use the title of the document as well. So you're doing all of this before you even upload it. Once you've that done, press add. Like I said there, if the document doesn't actually have a document number, you would just go with something like 4.1. You would just carry on the number structure that way. So what I would then do is I would then upload my specifications by clicking this button, and then I drag in my spec like so. And what you do then is you create a set. So in this example, I'm going to create architectural. That's definitely not spelled right there. Oh Lord. Just copy and paste it. Perfect. Perfect. So when you create a set, you just have to create a date, the set date, which would be today's date. So today is Friday the 13th. The format is no other format, and your default issued date you get off your spec. And in this case, I'll just say it was yesterday, and your default received date. This is the date that you yourself received this in your emails. So again, I'll just say I got it yesterday. Once you have that done, you press process. So then this is similar now to the drones tool. It's taken about 30 seconds or so for it to actually process. And what we're going to do then is we're going to review it. Now, what I recommend doing here is I would right-click review and open in new tab. The reason for that is you want to be able to have access to this little part down here. So if you open that up like so, what happens up here then at the top is it'll automatically put it into one default section. So if there was one called default section, it would come right up here into number 1. So that's where it would go. And that's why sometimes people are having issues when they're uploading specs, because it keeps revising that one part, number 1 default section. So what we're going to do is we're going to name it this instead. So we go down here. This is the way I do it. Copy this number, put it in here. And then I copy the title as well. And then I put it in here. So always make sure you change that part at the top. It's very important to do that. And once you have that done, it's done. So then all you do is you scroll down and you press publish all. And that's it. And what happens then is in about 30 to 60 seconds, it'll appear here with that open button. An open button will appear down here. And that's where it is. So it just takes it about a minute or so to refresh. And that's that done. You have other stuff as well that you can do with the specifications tool. You can subscribe. So if you press the subscribe button anytime a new spec is uploaded, you'll get a notification of it, or it'll be a digest email as well if a few are put up at the same time. You can also do stuff as well like just open the current spec book. So if you press open current spec book, what it does is it combines all of these into one spec. So if you just click open current spec book, it appears. And again, you see your list here. You can see all the different sections there. So you could just click something like mechanical and it'll scroll down. And a good thing about this as well is within the spec book, you could search for something like a keyword inside it, something like fire, and it'll find anywhere where fire is, and you'll be able to go directly to it. So it's a very, very useful tool to be able to use. As well, you can also do stuff as well, like if you highlight the boxes over here on the left-hand side, you can email them directly to somebody. You can download them. So if you click 2 buttons at the same time, if you click 2 spec sections at the same time, you can either download them as individual sections or download them as a single PDF. You can bulk edit them as well at the same time if needed. As well, so if you can also delete them. If something has happened, you can delete the current revision. So if you were to delete a current revision, it would just if you delete a revision 3, what would happen is revision 2 would come to the top and so on. And if it was only one if there was only one revision, it would just delete that entire section completely. So that's kind of the gist of the specifications tool. Again, it just takes it about a minute roughly for the actual specification to appear. Is there any questions there? So you can also export them as well as PDFs and Excel files as well. So does anyone have any questions about that? Or Brian, have you anything you'd like to add there?
No, that's very good, Connor. It's very comprehensive. The only thing I would add is in the settings section, if you want to have people on the email notification system, you can set that up from the directory as well. So if you go into the gear button, and so in this case, because it's important or pertinent documents, you might have design team members or site management team or project management team that you want to include, so they get an email notification when it comes through.
Exactly.
You've covered it very well.
They just have to be on the directory, obviously. Any other questions there from anyone?
Not for me, Connor. No, thanks.
That's perfect. The tool it's most similar to would be the drawings tool. Once it's uploaded, it does have to be reviewed as well, which is similar to the drawings tool. But you don't need to publish it, unlike the drawings tool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions there, lads? Feel free to ask me. Happy to help anyone if they need any help putting up the spec book. So yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. Just a reminder, Liverpool are playing tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And we'll leave it at that.
Thanks, Connor.
Thanks, Connor.
Perfect. No matter. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
Cheers, Connor.
Thanks.